Mell.
Brandon.
Mell Moore. Tuesday night. Got a commission meeting. Grab a bite to eat. Here we get behind the mic on the camera. Talk about all the exciting news of the evening.
Commission meeting was a grueler.
Long, tedious.
They should be long and tedious though. It's just important stuff.
It is important.
Yeah. So highlights. What's
everything we talked about last night, we talked about tonight. Pretty well on point there on a couple things, but the big takeaway from tonight is Commissioner Dan Jurkovich resigned, effective immediately. So, you got a copy of Dan's resignation letter here from city staff. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching, I know they're watching. At least some of them are watching.
I know I'd watch.
I'd watch. Dear Honorable Mayor, please accept this letter as my official and immediate resignation from the Commission. Serving as a Commissioner for the last 6 years has been an honor. I'm grateful for the work that has been accomplished. Now that the hospital bonds are sold, it is time for me to focus solely on my obligations to my family, my profession, and my duties on the hospital board. Thank you to the citizens of Arkansas City for the opportunity to serve, and thank you to the city staff and my fellow commissioners for a great and productive experience. May God bless Arkansas City, Dan Jurkovich. So, resigns. Near the end of his term, right at the, I would call at a very pinnacle point in city business. They made a lot of progress, had a lot of acceleration with the hospital and things that he's been very instrumental in and recently. You got a love loss for Dan or not, he's been effective recently on the hospital board and
he could have rode out the last few months on his laurels alone. He didn't have to do anything else. But he goes from an entity that's there to help, and all of a sudden it's God bless Ark City. It's in God's hands now. And I got to tell you, I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate him pulling like this. And what is there a date on that?
No date. I mean, I assume it was today or here recently.
Well, he's had to have known it for a while. I mean,
sure.
He didn't all of a sudden say, "Oh, I quit," or maybe he did tell us that I quit. I don't know. I can't read into it.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows entirely other than him? But there's a lot of outside factors that may have implicated his resignation.
Water under the bridge.
Water under the bridge. So what's next?
Selection. Now, for some reason, they feel they need another commissioner. They act like they couldn't just have four. Is that a state law, or is that a?
I don't know if there's a statute that supports that they have to, that mandates that they appoint a new one, but the way Mayor Warren spoke of it tonight is they have 30 days.
But is that self-imposed 30 days, or is there a real 30 days, or
I don't know.
Or what earthly difference does it make?
We got to look it up. I'll talk to the producer. We'll figure it out.
You've got a direct line to the producer?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
We'll find out.
Wow.
So, 30 days, appoint a new commissioner to fulfill Dan's remainder of his obligation through basically January.
His obligation. So he's going to put his obligation on somebody else. Now, who would that somebody else be? How are we going to get there? If they decide you've got to have 5, what do you think?
Well, if you look at historical evidence of what we've done in the past, we appoint people that, well, I don't know, what would you call them, Mel?
Well,
who have they appointed every time somebody resigns?
It's like every board everywhere. When they start appointing people, they appoint their people.
Their friends, right?
Their friends.
They appoint their friends. They appoint people they're comfortable with, that ain't going to rock the boat, that's going to vote like them, that's going to act like them.
Their boyfriends.
Oh, yeah. Well, not exactly boyfriends, but they could be girlfriends.
Oh, they could be, okay. They could be girlfriends. And that's happened.
Hey,
they have actually appointed their girlfriends.
Likely so.
But the people that are involved in this, in that level, are not necessarily what's best for the city, because it skewers the point of view. All of a sudden you see you're myopic. You don't have a total look. You got tunnel vision. It's got to be a broader horizon. Stop picking the people you know because they agree with you.
So you think that's what'll happen? I mean,
Well, what's
No.
happened in the past?
no.
It's always been the same thing. I mean, here we are, number 4 in 7 years. I mean, that alone's a damn problem. I find I'm incensed by him quitting. He had just a little bit of time left. He couldn't stick it out. I mean, was it so desperate? But of course, they wear it on their sleeves, and they go home and they worry about it.
And he did. He took it. He took it to heart. It seemed like pretty regularly.
Well, you should take it to heart, but you must put it in perspective on what actually you can do. Because if you go out throughout history, if you go back 5 years, I don't know what happened. I don't know who was who. It's irrelevant. It all just vanishes.
Yeah.
Because today's problems trump anything that happened in the past.
Even if it wasn't Trump's fault, it's still his fault.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I took a different perspective tonight. I don't know. Were you picking up on the social cues in the room?
The only social cue that I picked up on was the point of the compass point engineer screwing up, and it costing the taxpayers another $20,000. And as usual, status quo. Yeah, give them some more taxpayer money. That's what I picked up on. What did you pick up on?
I kind of got the vibe, and I mean, it could be just me, my mind wandering, but as I'm sitting there in the room and the people that were there tonight, and it could have been completely by coincidence of my thinking, but I go to those meetings, not often, but often enough to know who's there. And you had both potential candidates, Travis Pierman. Well, I say potential candidates, they are candidates. Travis Pierman and Scotty Rogers.
I understand that Travis goes to all of them. Is that true?
Regularly,
I don't know.
recently, I think he's been going, and I think this is one of the first ones in recent history I've seen Scotty at, but definitely I think the first one since he's filed. And he may have been to one or two others, but I kind of got the vibe, and I mean, maybe I was sitting next to Scotty, and I don't know, but I almost sense that they're going to maybe try to appoint one of those two guys, and I'm not feeling good about it. I mean, while it may sound logical,
Well, it's a logical choice. I mean,
because they're interested.
They're involved, and why not prep them? No, you're right. It is not a good choice. No, you're right.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what your feelings are on it, but I think if you appoint one of them two guys, you're tangling with the legitimacy of the election and the integrity of the election process, in which either one of them guys are going to be perfectly good candidates. And I think most of you watchers on here on Mell More, I think you guys will find some.
I think you're correct in your analogy.
I think you'll find some common ground with both those guys, and,
Sure.
and maybe electable candidates for you guys. But
Sure.
putting them aside, it didn't matter about who they are. It's about the position they're in, and they're candidates. And I think appointing either one of them would be a terrible idea from a
logistical standpoint.
well, not even the logistics. I mean, it's real easy to appoint them, but just
But logistically, if one of them doesn't get elected and he's an interim guy, then you're. And also, if you appoint one of them, it gives him such a leg up on the interim election. You're screwing the other guy.
Yeah, you're screwing the other guy. So, and it just.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think your wandering mind wandered in the right direction.
So,
Bam.
I don't know. I'm hoping they don't go that direction. And I'm hoping they don't pick their boyfriends.
God.
So, my thinking is, I know this show's more about you than me, but I'm doing most of the thinking tonight for some reason.
With a wandering mind, I don't know if that's thinking or not. A wandering mind is really not direct. Anyway.
Back to me.
I don't want to insinuate that a wandering mind is a waste.
I want him to pick a regular Joe.
Yeah, or somebody that no, you're right. Not one of them. Not a boyfriend.
Yeah, not one of them.
Not a boyfriend, and not a potential candidate or a candidate. No, you're right. Pick somebody.
Pick a regular Joe.
Pick a wild card. Pick somebody that hadn't been in there.
Pick somebody that doesn't have any familiarity with the.
What's it gonna hurt?
And pick a regular guy off the street, or there's a few citizens that attend regularly too.
There are. They're versed in how this stuff works. Yep.
Tap on one of those guys or gals and say, hey, you come to the commissions a lot, and or you're in the know, but you're not.
And court them. Actually come up and say, hey, this is what we're thinking about. We have to select somebody who's interested. You seem to show an interest and you come to the meetings, or you're in tune with what's going on, and you're not status quo. You're not a regular selection for this deal. Because what always happens is you select the guy that you like or is your friend, and nothing happened. You didn't broaden your horizon. Nothing special happened. It's just the same old damn thing over and over and over. And you can see how detrimental it's been to the town.
It has been.
I mean, doing the same thing over and over and over is insanity because the results are the same. Bad results over and over and over. So do something different. At least try something different. How's it going to hurt?
It's not going to hurt. All right, it's my sound advice for Dan's resignation and how to fulfill his obligation that he foregoed. I think they can appoint somebody. Appoint a regular Joe. Don't mix it up too much. Don't pick your friends. Don't pick candidates. Do the right thing. It's your job. You're elected to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're elected to do the right thing. That's why my disappointment with Dan is, come on, man, couldn't stick out a little bit more. So there must have been something pressing. There must have been something in there that
the heat was on, I'm sure.
this.
Something. The heat.
The heat, which after 6 years, all of a sudden now the burner's turned up so bad he's got to run out of the kitchen. I mean, come on.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know either. I can't get in his head. Nor do I care to. I don't
Yeah,
know.
doesn't matter. Water under the
It
bridge.
doesn't make any difference. Water under the bridge, yes.
Especially
He's gone.
Water under the Chestnut Bridge.
Ooh, the Chestnut Bridge is not going to be there. So it won't be water under the bridge. It'll be water under the sky.
We got to go.
If the county gets
This
through
is dragging on. Mel Moore signing off.
I second that motion to close this meeting.
Good night, folks.